Welcome to the second annual National Egg Cream Invitational! This, in my hand, is the 2025 edition of the Golden Siphon. The 2024 right now is in Philadelphia at the Franklin Fountain, who beat out a pool of 7 contestants last year. This year, where is the siphon going to go? Is its spirit going to return to New York, and if so, in what borough? Is it going to go to Jersey, Florida, California? We're going to find out in just a few hours. Before we begin, I want to remind everyone that while there's judging happening on the stage that you're watching, you too are judges of the seltzer in the room. In the swag bag that you received is the list of the seltzers. We need your voices on things like taste and sharpness, and when you fill it out or when you're done with it, you don't have to finish it, bring it to the Brooklyn Seltzer Museum in the back corner so we can tally the votes and decide the SeltzerFest Seltzer winners. But for now, we're going to focus on the National Egg Cream Invitational. To get started, it's my honor to introduce our sponsor for not only the 2024 National Egg Cream Invitational, but back to the 2025, Paul from L&S Packing, who produced many amazing products, including You Bet syrups. Paul, please come on the stage.
Hey everyone, great turnout. You guys should be good on that spin the wheel, so I hope you got what you wanted. But real quick, I'm proud to be part of this egg cream competition or tradition. Good luck to all, even if you're not using fox syrup. Let the stirring begin, and remember, an egg cream mustache is a good thing. Good luck to everyone.
All right, with that, it is my honor and pleasure to cede the stage to our remarkable MC for the afternoon, Ari Miller. Give it up, please.
What's going on, everybody? Is everyone ready for some egg creams? Is everyone ready for some chocolate egg creams? Vanilla egg creams? And the coffee egg cream. Alright. So I believe we're going to be starting with a few words on the origins of National Egg Cream Day from Greg at Lofty Pursuits.
Hello, I'm Greg. I'm a soda fountain in Tallahassee, Florida, and things bother me from time to time. And one of the things that bothered me is, how do these days get formed? You know, there's like National Parker Day, and there's National Pie Day, but that makes sense, that's March 14th, just a couple of days ago, 3.14, it's close to pi. But I wanted to know how you made a day, and I went, well, if I'm going to make a day and try to get one that's universally accepted, I should make one that's useful. I own a soda fountain. Let's make a day to celebrate the American soda fountain. Because soda fountains aren't ice cream stores. We want to differentiate ourselves. We're differentiating ourselves with the drinks that we make, the ingredients. Sometimes I think we're like very cold sushi chefs, but sweeter. And I went back to my love of egg creams because there's something that has to be enjoyed pretty much immediately. It's ephemeral. So I went, why not National Egg Cream Day? And then I thought, who taught me how to make an egg cream? And his name was Ben Chosh. He owned a little soda fountain that we called candy stores in New York City. And they were everywhere. They were ubiquitous until the 80s. And his was nothing special. It was just close to my house, and it's where I had egg creams. And I learned indirectly how to make an egg cream. You see, he was arguing with a lady, and this is how almost every egg cream conversation starts. He was arguing with a lady from Queens, who was obviously wrong. We were in Brooklyn, she was from Queens. And about how to make an egg cream. And I was, I don't know, 10 or 12 or something, sitting behind one of those rotary racks of comic books, trying to read as many as I can before he noticed me and kicked me out. So my ears are perked up. I'm listening very clearly. I swear they made 12 egg creams. And I learned a couple of things that day. I learned how he made an egg cream, because everybody's egg cream is personal. The egg cream that every one of these contestants is making is probably very similar to their first egg cream. And second of all, I learned about the egg cream argument. We don't agree on anything. We don't agree about how to make an egg cream. Thanks to Eric over there, we don't even agree on what goes into an egg cream. We don't know why it's called an egg cream, but we have our theories. And we don't know who really invented the egg cream, but we all have our own beliefs. So I think part of the egg cream is the personal touch of the soda jerk who makes it for you. And because the egg cream is so personal, my egg cream came from Ben Schottish, and National Egg Cream Day was yesterday, March 15th, his birthday. You know, if I'm making a holiday, let's make myself a holiday. And I know something concrete. I know who makes the best egg cream. Me. Let the competition begin.
So, we are going to start by introducing our 4 judges. They'll come up to the stage. First up is filmmaker Benny Softy, is a lifelong New Yorker and lifelong fan of egg creams, who brags that he makes one that's not too bad himself. So, next year with the siphon in your hand. Next judge, Ginny Land, is a candy scientist. We'll pause to let that sink in. And the author of the forthcoming The Official Barbie Cocktail Book. Both her parents grew up loving egg creams, which meant she did as well. Deep dive her Instagram, Gin Before Breakfast, to see her boozy egg cream represented there. Next up is reigning egg cream champion and pride of Philadelphia, Eric Burley. Eric is the owner and operator of Franklin Fountain along with his brother Ryan. They also operate Shane Confectionery and Franklin Ice Cream.
Oh.
And finally, Kelly Fox. Kelly is egg cream royalty. For 100 years, his family made Fox's You Bet, where he worked for 20 of those years. So, God save the cream. So, we are going to kick off our competition. Can we go one by one? Let's start with Jason. So, Jason Stahl is the person behind Hank Schwartz, his alter ego. Jason is a Jersey City resident and Jewish style deli menu named after this fictitious fish, and Schwartz is the name of his deli. Fixture of the Riverview Farmers Market, held each Sunday in Jersey City Heights. It seems like Jason's a real salmon guy, taking pride in his candied salmon. And he told me last night that he even had a customer who, upon returning from a trip abroad, immediately texted him requesting a pound of gravlax. Correct? That's correct. So Jason's setting up. The judges are going to be judging based on performance, presentation, and then classic or artisanal. So classic will be the classic combination. Milk, chocolate syrup, and seltzer. And artisanal will be variations on that theme. Who here has had an egg cream so far today? Who here has had 2 egg creams so far today? Who had an egg cream yesterday? Who here has had an alternative artisanal egg cream? Who here is from Philadelphia? So the egg creams will be prepared, one for each judge, who will then taste, and then we'll bring up our next contestant. Thank you for your patience. And the question was, so there's 4 categories, right? The performance. Right, so there's performance and presentation, which everyone will be judged upon, and then you'll be graded on classic or artisanal, and then the individual with the highest score of those 3 relevant categories will walk away with the Golden Siphon, which everyone gets to see that you get to keep your Golden Siphon. It's not returned and then donated to the next person. So if you go anywhere that makes egg creams and you see this Golden Siphon, I mean, that's pretty much 3 Michelin stars. Sure, so Jason's gonna start. So, are you using chocolate syrup? I am using my own homemade chocolate syrup. And tell us about the construction of your egg cream, what makes it and Schwartz's.
So, my story with egg creams is my parents grew up in Brooklyn, East Flatbush and Sheepshead Bay. And, yep, that's an avenue. And then, so like most Jews, this is American. So like most Jews, they moved south to Staten Island. And then, so I grew up drinking egg creams all the time, go out to the diner, egg cream with chocolate pancakes at home, peanut butter and jelly, egg cream. My mother used to make egg creams with a Tupperware shaker from the 1970s. It was yellow. Anyone have one of those?
I do.
All right, yeah. So she used to make chocolate malts, and then shake them up really good. And the thing with my deli is we are trying to just elevate and modernize classic Jewish dishes. So the egg cream, we're trying to get a little artisanal here. You'll see that I go for the ingredients and homemade chocolate. Alright? Go ahead and get it on the side of glass. Alright? Who likes it on the side of glass? So once you get the chocolate in, just want to probably need a little bit more. Alright. So what I'm going to do is do some milk.
So how classic is it to put milk in the whipping canister instead of water?
It's so far it's worked.
Where did this idea come from?
I'm trying to pay tribute to a few of the boroughs. Brooklyn, of course, no chocolate egg cream from Brooklyn.
Who here's been to Brooklyn?
And as far as growing up in Staten Island, just having an egg cream all the time, trying to make it a little bit different, pay homage to my mother. And then for the Manhattan part, who knows what goes into a Manhattan special? Manhattan egg cream. What makes it a Manhattan egg cream? Vanilla, right? So we have some vanilla extract in our chocolate syrup. I'll tell you what. We also going to get to it. Okay?
Yeah!
They're very, very hard to find.
What is a Manhattan special?
It's sweet nectar.
Nectar to God.
So a Manhattan Special, it's actually made in Brooklyn on Manhattan Avenue. But again, growing up in Staten Island, I used to work for these guys. They were guys. And they introduced me to Manhattan Special. Actually, all this can go in there.
It's a Manhattan Special, a coffee edition.
Yes, it's an addition. It's our take on it. Manhattan Special, if you haven't had it before, it's an espresso soda. Okay? It's a great jolt if you need one. We put that in here.
Who here makes egg creams at home? Do you use a whipping canister or do you use seltzer from a different source? Who uses homemade seltzer?
Alright. So that goes in here. The whipper here is an easy whipper. It's going to make some cream. There.
How long have you been making this specific egg cream?
Yeah, around that side.
Is it more like a week or like 3 years?
Somewhere in between.
Somewhere in between.
All right, here we go, guys. Whipping cream instead of just milk alone. Wow.
So this is important to point out, everyone here is making an egg cream on the awakened. So a lot of people are using equipment that they haven't used before.
Then we all pour it next. Yes, the resistance. What is a classic New York cookie? Purple, black, and whites. We're going to salt bay it. Okay? So, you have straws.
So judges, as you taste, you all have microphones also. If you can tell us, Eric, as the reigning champ, what are you looking for in an egg cream?
Yes. I think there's balance between.
Feel free to taste first, by the way. I don't know.
I
Don't know the process.
Success is with the head and flavors that are going on. That's one element.
We're gonna let the judges judge. Jason is baiting the judges, which is illegal in some states. This is an interesting side, I think. I don't think I've witnessed people sit around and just critique egg creams in this way. This feels very chefy. So we're going to be welcoming Egghead's Artisanal Drinks up next. And while the judges deliberate over the Hank Schwartz egg cream, top with black and white cookies. That is a move. Jason and Matt. Yeah. So next up, we have Egghead's Artisanal Drinks. Egghead's is a passion project run by lifelong egg cream drinker Val Weisler, along with her partner Kai. They offer artisanal flavors that put a spin on the traditional drink, like strawberry, lavender vanilla, orange creamsicle, and pistachio. They even boast of a cereal milk egg cream, and I'm not exactly mad about that. When not mixing up egg creams, the 5th generation Brooklynite is a teacher, educator, social activist, and PhD candidate in children's rights at Queen's University Belfast. We're ready. So tell us what we're having.
So today we're having a lavender vanilla egg cream. As Ari mentioned, I'm the 5th generation of my family to live in New York and the 4th to live in Brooklyn. And I'm really passionate about bringing egg creams back to my Gen Z generation. And oh my God, I'm sorry, I'm forgetting the most important part of this. Kai, please, sorry, my apologies. This is a really pivotal ingredient before we even get started on making the drinks. I do study children's rights, so we're going to be living into our inner child, and this is really important. Judges, I would watch carefully, don't blink. Thank you, Kai. So we'll be continuing now that we have that settled. So we start off with Fox's U-Bed. I really feel like I'm among the legend with you right now. I'm trying not to freak out. I grew up on Fox's U-Bet from my great-grandparents, and my great-great-grandfather actually made soda fountains. He was a welder, so this is truly in my blood. So first off, we start with the base of the vanilla Fox's U-Bet. And then we add in a lavender syrup. So usually Kai is making the artisan syrups, but I really want to show you guys how accessible this is to make at home. So we have a home-bought lavender syrup to add in.
Where does lavender vanilla egg cream have its origin?
So this really started as a passion project to fundraise for my research as a PhD candidate, and I knew that the way to get this to my generation was to meet them where they are, which is with anything lavender or pistachio or dulce de leche. I know that those lattes cost $9 in Brooklyn, so I thought about getting them interested in egg creams was going to be meeting them at markets and pop-ups and private events with those buzzwords that would get them to get to love this drink. We've sold out at a bunch of different markets, and this has helped fundraise for me, but has also turned into a way to lean into my inner child too.
Very cool. I also grew up with my mama making me egg creams, and she would use U-Bet chocolate syrup. This was in Northeast Philadelphia, but I remember the glass U-Bet jar that was just, it's well missed in my family.
We are leaning into the kid-like vibes of this, so we do have a honey rim that has confetti sprinkles on it to be able to really be thinking about, like, who you were at 5, the kind of drink that you would design with a little adult spin of the lavender hints as well.
That's a lot of syrup, no? It's a lot of syrup. Look at it's purple.
Jenny from
Okay, here we go. She's gonna do it now.
Yeah, so we are using 5 acres of milk. I know this as a pretty readily available.
She just dropped it in like it was water. Did you see that?
Integrity Farms. But it is available.
Not a lot of fizz from her. Not a lot of fizz.
Some of the larger.
And I didn't see her mix it. Wait a minute.
So you'll see 5 acres.
She didn't mix it in.
As sort of like
Anthony, she didn't mix it with a spoon.
Just shy of actually bringing it for the farmers.
Holy mackerel, guys. That is like, wait a minute. That is like different. She gently put the lead seltzer in.
But also with edible glitter.
See, she's just dripping it in. She didn't like shake it and do the seltzer fizz. And she didn't use a spoon. No spoon.
Yeah.
Just putting like elderflower on top. Can you believe it? No spoon mixing. Yeah, no spoon mixing and no using of the seltzer. Like, just dropped in.
Everyone's just
The egg cream table, accurate, it looks like a child's party and it's fine. So, according to their own website, Lexington Candy Shop was founded in 1925 and is New York City's only reminder of a bygone era when soda fountains and luncheonettes were fixtures in every neighborhood throughout New York. At the shop, which has been continuously owned and operated through 3 generations of family and partners, they use half and half instead of milk in their egg creams. They also make all of their own syrups from scratch. A side note, they scoop Philadelphia's Bassett's ice cream, which predates their shop by 64 years. Like in the candy shop.
Thank you for coming. I want to thank Harry and Alex for this great I said it last year, but I'll say it again. I've been in Manhattan, and I get a lot of customers from all around the world. And what is the best thing in New York that's part of New York? It's the egg cream. Everyone wants the egg cream. And we do it. And we do it. We use our own syrup, which is like young Farmacy that is very good. And they keep it alive. Egg cream. Everybody knows egg cream is more lots. It's great. But we make our own. So anyway, ready to go? Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Half and half.
So when did the candy shop start using half and half as opposed to milk, or has it always been this way?
Always that way.
Since 1925, can't argue. So this is also a variation on the order in which the ingredients go in. We were talking to Dylan, I believe, was the egg cream maker's name last night at the Seltzer Museum. And he was saying that egg creams are all about the chemistry of how you choose to introduce your ingredients one to the next.
You always have to throw over the rim.
You gotta have a foam overflow. So we're also taking the approach of the 1 by 1, which means each egg cream is going to get delivered nice and foamy.
The white hen is key.
Is everyone transfixed by this process? Mesmerizing, right?
We do it all day.
All day.
Can you tell us what type of chocolate is in the syrup?
Yes. Cocoa Light. Cocoa Light.
The Dutch cocoa light chocolate.
Mazel tov.
Friends, this is not an easy job. It's going to the Fox guys. Kelly, how do you feel? Do you think you could blind taste test You Bet versus Absolutely. All right, friends. Lexington Candy Shop. So Sammy's Romanian. Opened over 50 years ago. The original location closed in 2021, a pandemic casualty, but was resurrected in April of last year, still on the Lower East Side. Egg creams play a big role at this institution, which they explain on their Instagram with a quote famously attributed but unconfirmed to Mel Brooks. The egg cream is psychologically the opposite of circumcision. It pleasurably reaffirms your Jewishness. So without further ado,
Hey guys, we're from Sammy's. We've been working there for 45 years. Johnny started at 11, working there. So what we do at Sammy's is we bring our own food, and at the end, we make our famous egg creams. Egg creams come Sammy's table side. This is how Johnny makes it. Johnny's the egg cream champion at Sammy's. 6 years running, Johnny. Yeah. Right? So when everybody's done eating and you're really full, we bring over an egg cream at Sammy's. This is the way to make it. Good, Johnny, let's go. All right. We start with the milk, old school. You do the milk. Right, John. And every table makes a mess. Every table gets an egg cream. Every customer leaves Sammy's with an egg cream.
if you eat at Sammy's, you finish with an egg cream.
That's it. That's it. We don't have coffee, tea, old school egg cream. That's it, Johnny. Let's go. And you gotta be fast, because we gotta get the next table coming in. Come in, want to eat, have their egg cream, and go home.
And when you say fast, you guys are leaving here straight to the restaurant, right?
We'll be out the door. If we win, text us. Sammy's. Well, when we win, excuse me. When we win, text us at Sammy's. We got to open up. We got people coming in at 3:30 today. We're on the Lower East Side on State Street. foam, right? Very foamy, right, John? Very foam. Is the foam all right? It's all good? All right, we'll do the chocolate syrup. There you go. All right. You gotta get them in, you gotta get them out. And we don't care about the linen because we don't clean the linen at Sammy's. That's right. Johnny, let's go.
This is the important one. You gotta do this right.
The whip. Johnny's nickname at Sammy's is the blender. See? Top. Everybody leaves with a white mustache. Me, I get the white beard. Everybody leaves with a white mustache at Sammy's.
This is the most Italian-Jewish crossover I've ever witnessed.
You gotta go to work today.
Yeah, you gotta open the restaurant. Come on.
Very mustache.
Here we are.
Johnny the blender.
Sammy's Romanian.
You can blend, everybody. Thanks.
Oh, yeah.
So Brooklyn Farmacy is a contemporary soda fountain in Carroll Gardens from siblings Peter Freeman and Gia Yasula. Opened in 2010 in the old Longo's Drugs, the process of transforming the historic apothecary was featured on Discovery Channel's Construction Intervention. In an interview with Food and Wine, the siblings talk about their first trip to Manhattan with their dad was to Ray's Candy Store for 8 creams. Here in for Ray's. This is important, he told them. You need to drink this and understand that this is entwined with the history of New York City.
That's right.
And that's where they joined us.
That's right.
When I say egg, you say green. When I say egg, you say green. Egg. Green. Egg. Green. Egg. Green. Oh! I got a joke. What's Egg Cream's favorite music? Anything with a beat. All right, we got Brooklyn Egg Cream's right here. My sister's pouring a special blend of milk. Special. We got frozen glasses. Oh, we got syrup too.
So I'll just say a few words here, just so you know, Brooklyn Farmacy, the egg cream is the bedrock of our business. When we opened up in 2010, our mission was to bring the egg cream back to the top of the menu and to celebrate it. We often, every year, both primaries, regular elections, if you bring in your I voted sticker, you get a free egg cream. And we keep the egg cream going. We keep the history of the egg cream going, and it's an important drink to us. Where's my brother? What a jerk. Come on, where's he going? Come on. He's a sort of jerk and a jerk. All right.
So we've got to ask, special blend of milk, like goat? Is there goat in there?
Yeah, just like there's eggs in the egg cream, there's goat in our milk. Yeah, go ahead. Oh, let's go. Our syrup is a, let's say it's an old recipe on an old product. So we get our syrup from one of the very famous New York seltzer guys, Ronnie Starman. Anybody? Alotech? Hey, somebody over here knows what I'm talking about. We're just going to say that our syrup goes back many years. Yeah, a little bit more.
Don't skimp on that. So once again, we're seeing milk, seltzer, chocolate.
Lots of egg cream. That makes sense.
About how much chocolate syrup do you go through in a normal week?
Do 2-3 bottles.
2-3 gallon bottles. Some serious sibling rivalry going on here. She's going them on though. I mean, like, that's the alpha sister.
Ice cold, frozen glasses. You gotta be cold.
All right. One more time, yes!
From the Farmacy.
I just wanted to mention that the Brooklyn Pharmacy has written a book that I happened to find a case about a couple weeks ago, because I sell the book at my shop in Philadelphia. So if you're interested in their shop, they've got great recipes, photos of soda fountains. Check it out at my booth over here. There's about 5 or 6 copies left.
On deck is Eggers. So Benny, in your bio, it said you mix a meat and egg cream. How do you put yours together?
Well, it's very classic. You know, it's just the bare essentials, and it's all about the right. You have to have the perfect amount of each in there, so you don't want anything to overpower the other.
Does that mean you measure, or do you?
I don't measure. I measure. I always use the same glass, so you measure based on what goes in where. So you do. I'm a big fan. I don't want to. I have a certain way of doing it, but I'm interested in seeing the different ways that the syrup is added to the glass. I think that is a big part of the egg cream, personally.
It's pretty wild that 3 ingredients can be
completely in their own way. But the egg cream is very uniquely New York. I think it's the fact that there's no egg in it at all. And I still don't know why it's called egg cream. But it's is it Seltzer is the Jewish what do they call Seltzer? The Jewish champagne? Jewish champagne. So what does that make an egg cream is the question.
Delicious. Champagne is sweet.
It's what? No way. Oh, he said it's called it. She said it's an egg cream because she wanted they wanted the mothers to think it was good for the kids with egg. See, that's actually unbelievable because I actually think of it as a healthy drink. So
you're wrong, of course.
Yeah, I totally got. But it's better than milkshake. That's the truth. But I'm very happy to be here, so thank you for having me. And I'm so glad to see everybody's as excited as we are.
So we have now Eggers Ice Cream Parlor, which has been in operation in Staten Island since 1932. Danielle Rowley brought the shop in 2014 and believes it's important to stay current with the latest flavors and trends. Lucky for Staten Island, adding those egg creams.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are making traditional egg creams today, chocolate egg creams, homemade chocolate syrup, very similar to how we make it in the store. Except for a siphon, we have a soda fountain, but we've been doing this. This was one of the first things that our original owner, Richie Egger, had on his menu, was an egg cream. Chocolate ice cream, chocolate egg creams. Those are the first 2 menu items, and we continue the tradition since. We have a lot of fun every day. It's the forgotten borough, but not the forgotten drink.
Kelly, as a member of the Fox family, was egg cream a daily fixture of your life at home? Not professionally, but personally and at home.
So growing up, I was only allowed to have egg creams from sanctioned places that knew that they made them. That was it. When I made them at home, I was always wrong. When he made them at home, they were always wrong. It was always going to Sammy's Romanian or other places like that, and that was what I was looking for. Now, I'm a little less traditional. The kids like mine. What you're watching is a syrup pump that would fit into a soda fountain. These were often made of stainless steel, and they're one of the main companies is called Bastion Blessings. So in the industry, that is a syrup pump from a Bastion Blessing soda fountain. And they would have like goosenecks, right? Oftentimes in the Bastion Blessing the seltzer came out of the goose. The gooseneck was a soda fountain that was like this. Does anyone know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
You know the goosenecks. There's just a little lingo, little soda fountain, soda jerk lingo.
So being in Philly, what seltzer do you use at the shop?
We actually have a carbonator in the basement. It's connected to our water line, and then there's a filter on that water that comes through, and actually it comes up inside through a cold plate on the first floor in an ice bin, and then goes through a 1905 onyx housing, and then we basically remove the old silver taps, and we installed new ones because the old silver taps were covering brass, and it's toxic when you mix seltzer and brass, so don't do that. Of course, we use modern.
So next up is Racer T.
Yep.
Cool. So this is Noah Nussbaum. Repping Racer T. Out of Redondo Beach, California. This is our farthest. Racer Tea is a tea shop that operates under the slogan, "Make tea, not more." The shop's IG states that Noah's been making egg creams for decades, and we're about to introduce him at the shop, along with some old-fashioned sundaes. Yeah. Here it comes. Here comes the seltzer. In the meantime, tell us a little bit about this egg cream that's going to rep the East Coast and the West Coast.
So, we revealed my secrets here. Since I was a little kid, I've been wandering around behind the counters, watching the old people make the egg creams back 20 years ago when they were still around. Yeah, right here. So I watched a lot of the old people making the egg creams way back when. One of the secrets is alcohol to get the seltzer. That if you'd ever gone behind the counter back then, this was in New York when I lived here, you would discover a little ice bath with copper coils running around in it. As a little kid, I said, "What is that?" And at first nobody would tell me. And eventually it popped up that that's where the seltzer went to the egg creams. So one of the tricks is you want to get this stuff as super cold as you can get it. So what we do is we keep them keep our seltzer in fridges at about 34 degrees. We keep it as close to freezing as we can get it. We occasionally mess up in freezing, but we keep it as close to freezing as we can. And then there's just the basic temperature, texture, taste thing that we go after. So that's kind of our big thing, and the rest is just what I pull out of watching all these old people do this over the years and trying to spread it around California. But by the way, they do not know what an egg cream is. So we've had to rename it because they all kind of panicked when they saw egg in the title. So right now, until we get them educated, we're having to call it a chocolate cream fizz. Yes, temporary. We're going to get them educated. It's part of the deal. All right, thank you.
Chocolate cream fizz. Now I've heard everything.
Syrup first.
Syrup first.
So first witnessing of syrup first.
Like, do you go syrup first, Joey? I go milk first, and I add chocolate syrup till the milk gets up to a certain height in the glass.
The reason I do syrup first is you put it in and then you add the milk to get to the desired color of milk and syrup. And then you add in your seltzer. At least that's my.
So that's how I do it also.
There you go.
I do, especially if I'm doing it in a restaurant setting at like a private dinner, where I have to do like a whole bunch at once. Yeah. You know, and I think that's like a pretty standard thing that like constantly evaluate the logistics of the dish, of the beverage, and what we needed to do after it's made. And so chocolate, syrup, and milk first. Almost do that? Yeah, you do.
So that's why we're using them bottles again.
So here we're using some Canada Dry Club Soda.
In the shop, we can use
So the recommendation for the Racer Tea egg cream is to not use a straw. Is that a functional thing or a California thing?
It's layered. When you drink it, it's layered. So if you start from the bottom, because of the layers, you don't get the full effect. You're better off starting from the top and going down.
See, this is, as a chef, this appeals to me to no end that like someone has thought about their drink in this way.
I don't know. We would at the fountain tell customers you drink it like a beer.
So you don't use a straw for your beer?
We don't use a straw with our beer.
I've only seen one person ever drink their beer through a straw, and that was like his thing. And that was in Tel Aviv, so if you do. That was at the Midzar, if anyone's paying attention.
Yeah. Work programs? Yeah, I don't know. Some of it. But
so as these egg creams are being distributed, so I used to have a restaurant in Philly called Moosey, and we would make egg creams from different ingredients as part of a program to reduce our food waste. So we would often use food scraps to make syrups. So we made a beet egg cream using beet skins, and we once made a watermelon egg cream that just did not work out right. Tasty enough, but we couldn't get the texture right. And Andrew Coe came to have lunch once, and I was super excited because Andrew is a renowned writer on food and egg creams in particular. And we fed him a bunch of our egg creams, and he just looked, he goes, "These aren't bad, but they're not egg creams." So I took a hit. All right, on deck, next up is S&P.
It's like a scandal.
It's a scandal.
What do you think of this, mister?
I hope that guy has protection leaving here. This is Brooklyn, and you're going to introduce clubs.
That was weird, right? But what he did is, if you're gonna put club soda in a glass, you're supposed to pour it over the spoon so it makes bubbles.
Yeah.
He doesn't want bubbles. They're saying it looks like California. You blame it California. He's from Brooklyn. He's from Brooklyn.
Yeah, but he's making them in California.
Yeah, maybe that's true. Maybe they're not gonna like it that way. Maybe you're right.
So up next is S&P.
So the egg creams are being mixed by Kirsten, the chef manager of S&P, which was opened in September 2022, replacing the old Eisenberg sandwich shop, which had been around since 1928, and of course, replaced the old S&P. Owners Eric and Matt, of course, grocers, kept the vibes and kept the egg creams, and the New York Times expressed gratitude that they understood the mission and didn't muck it up by introducing a cocktail program with boozy egg creams.
Hi everybody. So today we're going to go not so traditional. We're going to do a salted maple vanilla coffee egg cream or a diner breakfast egg cream. Let's try it out.
This is some next level stuff.
I actually spent all week testing and making a reduced vanilla maple syrup, and unfortunately dropped it on this very hard floor over there, and it all went everywhere. So I did my best to kind of go shopping and put it together. So fingers crossed.
Mad respect. Who's been to S&P? So we're using some Maldon English seaside salt, also known as the good stuff. This is my assistant. What's your name again? So I think salt bubbles take similar space in chefy conversations around the size of the flake, the salinity, how it feels, how it dissolves, and how it interacts with the other ingredients. So this is really exciting to see both carbonated seltzer and salt in the same beverage. So Kirsten's saying that we're going for a little bit of aeration before adding the syrups. This is, again, as a chef, this is really exciting. The level of thought that goes into just a few ingredients, and then taking those three ingredients, milk, seltzer, chocolate syrup, and saying, okay, what can be swapped out, what can be swapped out for, and how the proportions work after that, and then tasting, and then rolling with variables because your sauce falls. And then that is just, that's as chefy as it gets, is just being in the moment, rolling with it, and making something delicious no matter what. As you can see, this is the coffee that Kristen's in the middle of drinking. Sharing some of her own coffee with the judges. This is exciting. This is not unheard of.
No, but this is just a decoration.
I feel like this is in part
Alright, I'll just do it at that.
why we're here, to see the cutting edge of the egg cream.
That's fine?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. But you can't, I don't know if you could like, alright, you could zoom in and out. That's like, I guess we'll leave it like that.
So much less. I got super
There is 2 pounds. I want to see if I can like erase that because there's like 2 dots on the screen.
Alright,
See
tell me what you have left, sir.
is that the eraser? Yeah. See,
2 lofty pursuits and Brooklyn Firefly. Good. In that order? Thanks.
Awesome. On deck is lofty pursuits.
If it's mixed right, that first sip of the egg cream doesn't matter. Because it just puts you in that place of like, you're focusing on all work. So.
I think my favorite environment is when I've already had 7 egg creams and I'm about to drink 8 egg cream. You can't beat that.
I think one of my favorite things that I've experienced professionally is when you enjoy something, whether it's food or drink, and it conjures childhood memories of a childhood that's not yours. So for example, we have friends that have a cannelé bakery, and the first time I ran a cannelé, it took me back to being to my childhood with friends, which was not my childhood. And I feel like that first sip of a well-mixed egg cream sort of does the same, walking through the neighborhood.
Well, this actually tastes like my childhood to me because I grew up doing tastings with my family where we would buy 20 different kinds of the same flavor of yogurts and compare them. 20 different kinds of cheddar cheese and compare them. So of course I became a food scientist where sensory testing is what you do, but like literally this is my childhood, is tasting a lot of versions of the same thing.
I absolutely love that as a family activity. That's really cool. So Greg, as you know, founded National Egg Cream Day. His shop, in what sounds like a fever dream, combines a skilled toy store, board game shop, Victorian candy factory, and soda fountain in Tallahassee, Florida, with a Brooklyn egg cream on the menu. In fact, they've been told they're more performance art project than store, with a strong Instagram account, a podcast, and over 500,000 subscribers to their YouTube channel. His mother must be very proud.
Truthfully, she doesn't understand. But she'd be very proud under any circumstance. Okay, I approach your egg cream a little differently. Like I said, egg creams are personal, and my egg cream goes back to the soda fountain of my childhood, Ben Chach's little soda fountain. But I am sort of into science, and I'm a geek. I mean, if you tried some of our egg cream candy, you'll see carbonates in your mouth. I'm very interested in how the different things interact with each other and how it interacts with you and your food. So one of the things that I've been paying attention to is the carbonic acid interfacing with dairy, which is a base and an acid. And this is going to affect how the bubbles are. And I'm trying to get very tiny bubbles. I'm also trying to get a rich, creamy head. Now the head that I do will not have any chocolate syrup in it. So I'm going to ask you not to use a straw, because the first thing you're going to taste is the bitter of the head. It's going to be followed by the sweet of the chocolate. And the next sip, it's going to clean your palate, the bitter, and make the sweet head just as strong. We're going to cycle through this. On top of this, I've been experimenting with cocoa powder and the syrup that we make. And the cocoa powder we're working with has a very high alkaloid factor to it. And the alkaloid factor is affecting the bubble size to make it really small, or at least I think that's what's going on. The chemistry is still we're working on, but let's see how this goes. So hold this up as I go.
And away we go.
The dairy I'm using is actually Jersey dairy. I was a little concerned because, well, Jersey from Jersey Island over between England and France. That's where the cows originally came from. The cows are Jersey. I don't actually know where the dairy came from. One of the things I learned from ice cream making is cows don't make the same milk. They eat different things. But Jersey cattle are freakishly consistent with their dairy. So we use this for a consistent product, because I think consistent products are what people expect when they get into this.
So we're going to go milk first.
It's actually a blend. Okay. I spent all last night testing it. I got the dairy local, everything else I brought. I'm also using Bell glasses. Now these are actually not made anymore. This will last 5 or 6 years. I gotta get the same pipe. I'm having some issue. So Bell glasses are an engineering marvel of the soda fountain. They're designed to trap the bubbles and concentrate them. As the bubbles rise, they hit this wide spot and then they go narrow, and it shoves the bubbles together, and it makes an inverse arch of bubbles, so it keeps things from overflowing. It's really good with an ice cream soda. It's excellent.
So what you're saying is we forgot about the fourth ingredient, which is the glass.
Yes. And air, which is of course the main part. Let's see. As with everyone else, I don't normally use this. I can't get these anywhere but Brooklyn. This makes this great.
First one was always.
Believe it or not, I practiced yesterday.
Seriously, right. So you're also aiming for the side of the glass, I see, as opposed to going straight down.
Well, that's the way you do it with a seltzer head when you have a two-position classic seltzer head. So I'm working with what I know. So the first reaction we're going to do is the dairy, the base, with the seltzer, like my predecessor. We're going to do a couple of stirs here because I want the two to be roughly mixed before I add the chocolate syrup. Now, for consistency, my pumps pump things out very precisely, and I discovered something. My 2-ounce pumps don't actually give me 2 ounces in the store. So I measured them, and I'm about to do this. Now, I put these right through the top, the chocolate syrup. We're now dealing with an aesthetic thing. If you were up close, you would see the bubbles actually getting finer as soon as I did this. And I'm going to go through the same hole with my spoon to hopefully push the chocolate syrup down for effect. I'm scraping from the bottom up. And believe it or not, that's actually important. They always told me that, but the back of the spoon creates a nucleotosis field which pops bubbles. And if you stir around in circles, you're running into the bubbles and popping them, making them flat. Some of this may be wrong, folks. You do realize this. It's all theory. We've got a few scientists over here we're going to listen. Well, you were the closest. I went too early in the bubbles, but I should have made these one at a time. I'm sorry about that. It's a catch for her. So you can do somewhere I can spill this out. Is that possible? Do you have a bucket or something I can get?
Is there an 8-cream spittoon?
It's made at 11 now. I should have done these one at a time. I didn't. What I paid for. Not practicing the bulk, just practicing one at a time.
And then just
there you go.
To update, on deck is our final contestant, the Brooklyn Firefly. So when you're making these at the shop, do you make them one at a time, a la menu, individual to order?
Exactly. We try to pass them out as they're made. I should have done that here, but you know what? We're going to make them.
And so this is also a homemade syrup.
That was an extra.
What time are you performing? Okay, slow down. Like the fan, but I only see you on my screen now.
By the way, if any of you are wondering, I actually have a piece of tape on the back of this to show me how high I should put up. We have a little sign on the wall that lets us do this right this way.
And so for a Florida shop, how many egg creams are you selling in a week?
I don't know. Yesterday we sold 53 of them.
Like to 53 different people.
I would hope not to one. I don't actually know. I wasn't there. I was here getting ready for this competition. So, yeah, I was born in Brooklyn, or I was born in Manhattan. I grew up in Brooklyn, so I sort of come by the egg creams naturally. And it's always interesting to teach people who aren't from around here what an egg cream is.
Lofty pursuits, and if you haven't tried the egg cream hard candies, they're a trip.
For sale in the store.
For sale in the store.
Right over there.
And as you said, next up is the Brooklyn Firefly.
Okay, last one. What is it? Brooklyn what? Firefly? What is it? Firefly. Brooklyn Firefly.
Thank you.
That's the place that the guy, Brooklyn Pop, that's his restaurant.
Wait, say that again?
The Brooklyn Pop, the museum,
Yeah.
that's the same
Oh.
people that have
Judges, how y'all holding up?
The restaurant?
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Y'all have egg cream belly yet?
Living with us learning.
I can do 10 more.
Sounds like next year we have to have an egg cream drinking competition.
That will kill me, and I'll be okay with it.
And that ends badly for everyone. It'll be like that. Stand by me. So, Brooklyn Firefly is a Brooklyn pizza shop, brunch spot, and live music venue that boasts an adult egg cream on its drinks menu. That's milk, seltzer, chocolate syrup, and bourbon. Still, no egg, no cream.
Yes, I'm Marie. She works at the Firefly and is her daughter. She's making her creation, which is a separate egg cream.
So this is Ruby, the daughter of the house, making a 7-layer cookie egg cream of her own creation. Respect. Yeah. So, not interrupting our mix master while she prepares. Where does this come from?
Ruby loves cookies and it's an Italian heritage. So it's pretty simple.
So what is the sauce itself? So the syrup is a combination of chocolate syrup and a raspberry reduction syrup with almond flavor as well. That sounds right. This is pretty exciting. This crossover. I think the line between Italian and Jewish is so fine. Separated by kugel on one side and lasagna on the other. But the whole notion of Italian egg cream is exciting. My my mind immediately goes to wanting a Pizzelle egg cream. Well, we'll come by and
How is it, Ginny?
I only got phone. Great, I guess.
yeah. So tell us a little about the Firefly. I love the combination of pizza and egg cream. This is not one I've had before. So we've talked so much about deli and egg cream through the day.
On the egg creams. Gotcha.
So if someone comes in and wants the adult egg cream without the bourbon, is that then called an egg cream or a virgin egg cream?
I think if they order it without, they can order
I have a question to pose.
Yes.
Earlier we had a black and white cookie. I would argue the rainbow cookie is up there as the New York cookie, but I don't know how many people would agree with that. So.
The competition is sandwiched by these two iconic cookies of the city. By show of hands, between black and white and rainbow cookie. Black and white. Rainbow cookie. Wow. The demographics skew slightly against you, but I'd say adjusted for modern currency. Well, Brooklyn Firefly, everybody. Thank you so much. Does that put anyone in the mood for an egg cream? So next up, we're going to welcome our not at all frightening Siphon Man to the stage. Siphon Man.
Can you guys hear me? Was that incredible or what? Please join me in thanking our 10 incredible contestants. Our 4 amazing judges. And our incredible MC, Ari. Ari. Alrighty. In a short time, we're going to find out who has won the 2025 National Egg Cream Invitational. But first, we need to clear the stage and play some tunes. In a few minutes, we will bring on the Seltzer Klezmer Spritztacular.